Adding and subtracting rational expressions with like denominators. So we're thinking fractions here. We've worked with multiplying and dividing, pretty straightforward. We don't need to have common denominators there. However, when we add and subtract, we do need to have common denominators. So we're going to start with the easy ones. We'll start with the common denominators. So again, if we have common denominators, we can keep the denominator and simply add the numerators. Very straightforward. So let's find each sum or difference. I've got 8c over 6 plus 5c over 6. So I'm going to keep the denominator of 6, and I'm going to add the numerators in this case, 8c plus 5c, which gives me 13c. We always want to make sure to see if we can simplify here. In this case, there's no common factors, so we are done. There's the simplified version. Next one, I have 3y over 3 plus y plus y squared over 3 plus y. Again, common denominators here, so I can add them. I'm going to keep the denominator. I'm going to add my numerators, 3y plus y squared. I'm going to see if I can factor those, and I can pull out a y, so I have y times 3 plus y, and the 3 plus y and the 3 plus y cancel each other out, and I end up with a sum of y. Pretty straightforward. One more, I have 17h plus 4 over 15h minus 5 minus 2h minus 6 over 15h minus 5. So to do this, I'm going to keep the denominator. Notice I'm going to take my original numerator, and then I'm going to subtract my second numerator. Notice I put these in parentheses here because I do have to distribute that subtracting. I am subtracting both of these, so please pay attention to that. This really is in parentheses here when we think about it as a numerator. So that's 17h plus 4 minus 2h plus 6, which gives me 15h plus 10. I'm going to see if I can factor these, which I can. They both have a 5 that I can pull out of there. So these 5 simplify out and leave me with 3h plus 2 over 3h minus 1. All right, and one more. You can sometimes use additive inverses to form like denominators. So we've looked at our additive inverses before. They're basically just opposites. They have one has a factor of a negative 1 in there. So additive inverses, 5 and negative 5 are additive inverses. So let's see what that looks like. D squared over d minus 3 plus 3 over 3 minus d. So here are my additive inverse, positive d, negative 3, positive 3. So what can I do with that? Well, I can take one of them. Again, you can take either one, up to you. I'm going to take this second one in this case, just because I like to have the variable first. And I'm going to multiply it by negative 1 over negative 1. So remember, we're not changing the value of the fraction by doing this to it, because negative 1 over negative 1 is really just 1. So really all we're doing is multiplying by 1, nothing fancy. So that gives me negative 3 over d minus 3. So I'm going to put that one back into my sum here. So d squared over d minus 3 plus negative 3 over d minus 3. So I get d squared minus 3 over d minus 3. I can't factor this at all, so we are done. So adding with our rational expressions, we need a common denominator.